All right, this is Pastor John David, and we are going through Proverbs. Today's the 31st, so it's the last day of Proverbs. Sometimes, if the month is shorter, you might have to watch the last two or three of these in a row or read the last couple chapters in a row because there's only like 28, 20, well, not 28, but 29 or 30 days to the month. But on the months that have 31, you get one chapter in a day every day. And we are encouraging the SOAP study method. You can use other methods. It's okay. It's all good. Um, but we're using the SOAP where we study the scriptures, we observe what it teaches, we seek to apply it, an application in our life, how we can live it out. And then the last one is to pray, talk to God about what it is that He's teaching you, what you're learning, and what you want to do with it. So today, as we get into the SOAP study method, we're going to look at the scripture, and we're in Proverbs 31 and verse 10. And this is a proverb that I read every Friday night as I have dinner with my wife for our day of rest dinner. We start a day of rest on Friday night into Saturday. And I try to not do normal work things on those days, but I try to rest, spend time with my family, and celebrate God and His presence in our lives. And Proverbs 31:10 is what's called the virtuous woman, the virtuous wife. And we there are certain passages of scriptures that we proclaim over each other as a husband and wife and over our family every Friday night. And this is one of those. Every Friday night, I read this to my wife. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her. What a beautiful call. Can you imagine if you're married, if you told this to your wife, husbands, if you told this to your wife at least once a week, saying, babe, I love you. You're a virtuous woman. It was hard to find you, but I found you, and you're mine. And your worth is far more than gold, than rubies, and precious stones. You are more valuable than all of that, and I trust you. And the verse goes on, you should read, and today you're reading the whole chapter, right? So look at all the other things that the blessing is towards the wife, all the good things that it says about the virtuous woman. And some people read this chapter and they're like, hate it, like, oh well, I could never live up to that. Especially, women say that. They'll be like, oh, I hate Proverbs 31 because it's just such a perfect wife and a perfect wife, and I could never live that up. And don't view it as like God's law to you, but if you look at it the way it's written and the way that it is applied with the Jewish people and people who celebrate Sabbath and use this passage on Sabbath to bless the wife and say, Woman, you're virtuous. I love you. You're more precious than rubies. I trust you. You provide food for the household. You consider a field and you buy it. This is all written in there, verse 15. You profit from the labor of your hands. I mean, it's a beautiful statement of identity that the husband, speaks over his wife and said, "You are a virtuous woman." Now, does she always feel virtuous? No. Is she always virtuous? Well, none of us are always virtuous, right? But to say that and to proclaim your value and your worth to your wife and your love and your respect for her, what a beautiful thing. More husbands need to do this more often. There's also a passage for the women to proclaim over their husbands and say, "Husband, you're a godly man. I love you. My heart trusts you." So it's beautiful. So, tell your wife, "Hey, you're worth more than rubies," right? Now that passage right there, you are worth far more than rubies. Like every Hallmark movie ends with something similar to this statement. I call it like kind of like the end of the Hallmark movie that ties it all up in a bow tie. Like they struggle, they fight, they have all these differences, but at the end, the man looks at the woman, looks in the eye, and says, "I love you. You matter the world to me. You're the most important thing in the universe for me. I love you. Your worth is far more than rubies." Right? This is the thing that the wife wants to hear. That the man values her and appreciates her and honors her. Right, ladies? Right? Am I with it? Um, and then you want to hear from your husband, "I trust you, babe. I trust you. We are in this together. We're a team. We're working this life together, and I trust you. We're not against each other. We are for each other. I am for you, and you are for me. I trust you. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. So this hits the core of marriage relationships. That idea of value, of love, of trust. Like, I value you. You matter so much, more than rubies, more than gold. I trust you. And by the way, this also shows the way I live, right? Because if gold were more important than my wife, I would be pursuing that gold more, and I would never be at home, right? I would never take time to be with her. All of these things are value statements that we live out in our life. So we can't just say it once a week. We have to live it throughout the week. Like, I value you. I honor you. You matter to me. I love you, right? And so this is a beautiful, beautiful passage. Read the whole chapter. It's a beautiful honor, a tribute to the woman. Um, and it's a core of our relationship: love, value, and trust, right? So I pray that God has taught you through this whole series. I pray that you're encouraged by it. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you, be gracious to you, and give you peace. We will see you when we see you next time. If you want to start over again, you can start over tomorrow. Go through Proverbs again. We'll be here. I'm not going nowhere. All right. Lord bless you. Thanks for doing this challenge with me. And we'll see you as we continue on in other projects. And in this one too. Come back and reread Proverbs. Go through it again. Be encouraged. All right. Bye-bye.